I'm Beth Ann.
What's up? I'm Ayla.
This is Let's Talk BL, a boys love podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. It is Sunday, Series Sunday, that one day of the week where we talk all things one series and one series only. So, if you have not seen this show, turn back now or prepare to be spoiled. In this case, we usually give this warning. We'll give like a, could you be spoiled and it's still okay? I'm going to go with yes. I think even if you like already know what happens in this show, you can still go watch the show and still like have an enjoyable time.
Because Joong and Dunk.
There's so much happening in this show.
There's so much
happening.
Yeah, because even I feel like we're going to try to talk about everything in the show, but I feel like there's still going to be parts that we're not going to talk about.
This episode would have to be 2 hours long. So without further ado, we are talking about Hidden Agenda. Thailand's first debate BL. Brings joy to my heart.
Yeah, what a funny, what would you call that? Plot point?
I mean, it's just the plot. Yeah.
Because
it's the meet cute. The meet cute is, like, the debate of it all.
Yeah, because I feel like there's no through line except for the debate.
Right. It stays constant.
We do get debate from beginning to end.
And this is how we're introduced to all the characters. This is how everybody is connected, is through the debate club.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah. But, man, Joong Dunk. I forget how much I love Joong Dunk acting as characters until I, like, watched the show. I'm like, this is so cute.
Yeah. They're great. They're so good.
They're good. Okay, nuts and bolts. It's 12 episodes. It's GMM-TV, which means it's on YouTube. Fun fact, it was directed by T. Bundit, who also directed, you ready for this? Tarn Type, lovely writer, Step by Step, I Feel You Linger in the Air.
I mean, what a departure.
I know.
I feel like the closest is maybe Lovely Writer.
Yeah, I feel like... I'm trying to think if I see the style. Like, I don't
see
feel
a little bit in Tarn Type. So remember, like, the first episode of Tarn Type felt very much like a lot of the, like, trailer, at least, of Hidden Agenda. Like, it's really bright, and there's a lot of fast talking and a lot of, like, characters with strong and, like, honestly, with Louis' character, which we'll get to, right? Like,
God, I can't wait.
I feel like I can see it with, like, the style of Tarn Type, obviously not the content,
right?
But the style.
Yeah, because this Tarn Type technically is the only other one set in university. Because Lovely Writer,
they're out. I mean,
they're out of university. Cow is
still a student,
yeah,
right. But it's like in the grown-up world,
right?
It's not set like in university,
right. And then Step by Step, they're grown-ups. I Feel You Linger in the Air, they're grown-ups.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cute.
This, like, I am most baffled, I think, by the difference between, because this was, like, 2 currently airing shows between I Feel You Linger in the Air and Hidden Agenda. And, like, the contrast in, like, the style, the content, everything is, like, whoa.
I wonder if we'll ever get a period piece by GMM-TV. BL-wise.
I hope so, because we had the period piece in Our Sky, Never Let Me Go, and it
people
was
freaked out about it.
I mean, shout out JoJo. Also, listen, I will soapbox about Never Let Me Go. This, in my opinion, and I think everybody, or at least I talk about it all the time, about what a DBK warrior I am. DBK, Dark Blue Kiss, right? And also, He's Coming to Me. I'm a warrior for He's Coming to Me.
Yeah.
I am about to say what I said, which is that I genuinely believe that Never Let Me Go is GMM-TV's best show. And I say that fully knowing that they also released Not Me, which is up there. I mean, it's close.
Yeah.
But, like...
bold.
I know. Anyways, JoJo...
We haven't gotten Cherry Magic yet.
Listen, Never Let Me Go. Never Let Me Go. Anyways.
Okay, we have Zoe as Dunk, Zoe is played by... I have the hardest trouble with the characters. I haven't quite figured out in my head how I want to, like, say these, like, the characters and the actors. So we have Zoe, played by Dunk, and we have Joke, played by Joong.
We do. Okay. Synopsis time. For the first time, University Zoe resolves to pursue his longtime crush, Nita. In order to woo her, he approaches Joke, Nita's ex, for dating advice. Joke asks him agrees to help him in exchange for a place in the debate club. Or at least that's what he tells So.
Truly, that covers the first episode.
Yeah, that's literally just the synopsis of the first episode. Because, like, there's no mention of our stalker. There's no mention of so much.
Because
there's so many plot points here.
Yeah, because truly there's so many hidden agendas that, like, if you talked about any of them, you'd be spoiled. Because, like, you couldn't talk about the stalker because we don't know about that until, like, episode 5.
That they're not really exes, right? And then, like, I guess you could kind of bring up maybe in the synopsis about, like Pot and Guy, right?
Yeah.
And, like, you could talk about
Pak and Jang, yeah.
Pak and Jang, right? Like, there are other, like, you could mention them at least. You know, give a hot mention to my guy who kills it.
I mean. Yeah, I feel like this is just the basis of the whole show, but really the show is so many things.
So many things.
I watch the show weekly. I finished watching the show, and then this is the first time that I've gone back and watched edits, because sometimes to refresh my memory, especially if we're doing old series Sundays, I'll go watch, like, fan edits, because that's how I got into BL, was a good fan edit. Props to these fan editors, because sometimes I think about what it would take, and you do all of our editing, so I'm like, what would it take to edit, like, do a fan edit? Because I have very specific likes and dislikes around fan edits, that things that I prefer and enjoy watching over others. And so I went back and watched these fan edits, and I was like, I just love Joong Dunk.
That kind of editing is really hard, because a lot of them are set to
music.
Not only do they have to move through the show in a way that makes sense, but they also have to choose moments that align with the song that they've chosen. And in a lot of cases, what they do, and there are some ways you can sync this, like there's some tools, but like usually a lot of it is manual, where they have to sync like movements with the song. And so you have like, it's just a lot of like choosing and moving and like slowing things down or speeding. It's just like, it is very difficult editing process, so shout out for sure.
Plus the people who add subtitles and the way that they move the subtitles, and sometimes they even edit the show within the edit, right? Like they don't put it in sequential order. And it's fascinating to watch, but
I mean, listen,
this is
again, shout out Never Let Me Go, because I've actually watched every single Never Let Me Go.
you have, yeah.
And I have like notifications set up for that search term, so that like when new ones come out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, does anybody else have that for any other? It's never even dawned on me that you could do that.
Yeah.
You have it set for Never Let Me Go or for the characters?
So I have both.
Fantastic. Oh my god, I love watching ship stuff, or like I love watching fan edits, but I've never thought about doing that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. You have to do a zap if anybody's listening. Like you can't do it through YouTube. You have to do it as a zap. But like, yeah. At least I haven't been able to figure out how to do it on YouTube, but like
you could probably
I have a zap set up for it.
You could probably do a Google alert, right? Because you can search YouTube through Google, and so could you like do like YouTube No, I guess not.
I don't know.
That hurt my brain.
Anyways, shout out fan editors. You're the real MVP.
So the great thing about fan edits, especially for a show like this, is because there are so many different plot points, storylines, things happening in this show. It's fun to see Zoe and Joke's storyline isolated from all of that, because there's so much going on. Because we do have some great groups of friends. We have some, not love triangle.
Right. I really dig the second character, the second couple, Jang and Pak.
I mean,
that was a really great. They did that really well.
They did. It was interesting though. This is another one of those situations where the pilot trailer was very different.
Yeah.
They completely changed their storyline.
Right, because they were supposed to be like the established couple that everybody knew about. They like
the
in the pilot
couple,
trailer, they like stand up in class and they're like, we're dating and all this stuff, right? And like they're like the campus, like idol couple, basically.
I wonder what the decision was to change that storyline.
I don't know, but I do like the way they did it, and I like the way that like we had the reveal whenever Zoe goes to the mountain town, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, what? It's like a Spider-Man moment.
Yeah.
Of like.
Well, and also the fact that Jang and Joke are cousins, and he's like,
yeah.
bro, I'm gay. You didn't tell me you were gay. Why? Or no, he already knew. He knew.
He was like their date because he's the one.
But he didn't know they were in a relation. He was in a relationship with him, right?
No, he knew.
Did he?
Yeah, because he tells Zoe. He's like, my cousin, and they're dating. It's his boyfriend. Like, it's
Zoe
your
was the only one that didn't know.
Zoe didn't
I see.
Because Zoe was like, bro, we're friends. Why would you not tell me?
Right.
Yeah.
I did love that mountain frolic. That
was a very good mountain frolic. Also, I was like, I need to go there immediately.
Yeah, we did say that.
The aesthetic.
It was very cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the beginning of the show, when Joke and Zoe are kind of introduced to each other, that first scene where they have their run-in in the sound booth, I thought was really funny because you can already tell there's like animosity.
I was thrown off by it. Also, I was really distracted because, fun fact, Erwin from Atlas goes to Bangkok University.
You were like, is Erwin there?
And fully, okay, so they filmed the show at Bangkok University. Yeah. Most shows, this is another fun fact that we learned, someone told us. I don't remember who told me. It was a Bangkok University student. Don't know which one. Told us this fun fact that Bangkok University is one of the only universities you can actually film at. Like, you can't film at Chulalongkorn. You can't film at Sinakarinwiwat. Mm-hmm. You can't film at, like, the big ones that we know about. You can film at, like, UTCC. Yeah. The University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. You can film there.
Shout out Gen Y.
And you can film at Bangkok University. So many shows that we see as like fans, when we see quote unquote like university life, like we're mostly seeing Bangkok University. Yeah. So, but this show, I feel like took it the furthest because in the sound booth, you literally like see on the computer screen like Bangkok University like music program. Yeah. And he's wearing like a Bangkok. There are people in the sound booth like wearing the like Bangkok University music program like T-shirt. Right. And Erwin from Atlas goes to Bangkok University, and he's in the music program. Yeah. And so I've seen him wear that shirt, and I was like, "Oh my god, fantastic!" I was like, it just really threw me off. I was like, "Oh my god!" And like I've seen Erwin post like selfies in that sound booth because like for school, like he's doing like literally what they're doing in the show, which is like school projects.
I would love a cameo by Erwin and Abiel.
I know. I mean, also fun fact about Erwin from Atlas is he's been in a GMMTV show.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that had
with Drake.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyways, it really threw me off also because I was like, I thought this was a show about debate, and he's like reading a storybook.
Yeah, there's animation.
Yeah, the animation really threw me in the
don't love animation.
Me neither.
Why Are You has it too, and I'm like,
yeah, nah. Oh yeah, Why Are You does have it.
It's weird.
Yeah, the only time I've seen it where I really liked it was like the way they use it in Heartstopper.
Yeah. And it makes sense for Heartstopper because it's based on a
yeah. Anyways, when they first meet, it did really throw me off because it made me be like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this show or not. Yeah. Which was weird for me because this was a debate show. I was a debater in high school. I won awards. I was very excited about it. And then we also have a friend who was a debater in high school who's from Thailand. Yeah. And I immediately told him, I was like, bro, there's a GMMTV BL that's out right now about debate, and he was like, "What?" He was like, "Debate's not even that popular in Thailand."
That's
he was
really
like,
funny.
I'm totally gonna watch that. Shout out Purse from You Are My Sky, who is at Harvard now. Everybody say congratulations, Purse.
I know, it's very fun.
Anyways, yeah, the first meeting made me wonder if I was gonna like the show or not.
Yeah, it's funny all the different tropes that this series kind of encapsulated, because you had like enemies to lovers a little bit,
but they weren't really enemies.
Except he like tries to hit him, or he does hit him, right? Like he hates him when
it's a one-sided enemy.
When Joke goes up to sing that song and he thinks that he's making fun of Zoe.
He thinks it's about Nita. He's like, you're trying to get her, but it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's like one-sided enemy.
Obviously, because
Zoe's the enemy.
Joke is in love with
Zoe. Is his own enemy. Yeah. So it's not even like enemies to lovers. It's just that like Zoe is literally his own enemy.
Because he, at the end, he gets in his head and like he makes up this whole thing between him and his mom, and his mom's like, "No, I love you. It's fine."
Yeah, his mom's like, "I don't understand the problem." Like, it's really funny.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. So moving past the first episode, I'm just going to skip all the way because we already talked about Mountain Frolic.
Yeah, that was cute.
I'm going to skip. Well,
I did love the revelation because we're sticking to like sticking to Joke and Zoe. I did love the revelation that Joke was helping Nita because she had a stalker.
Yes.
And it like I didn't see that coming. I didn't see the fake relationship.
I didn't think it was going to be a fake relationship, but I definitely, a lot of people were like, even you in the beginning, you were like, oh, I think she's going to try and get Joke back, and she's not, like, she's gonna be the evil girl. Everybody just like is so prepared for the girls to be evil, and I'm always like, no, you gotta have faith in the ladies.
I did appreciate
and so I definitely, like, a lot of people were like, oh, they're like, she's gonna try and get him back, all this stuff, and I was like, no, because Joong and Dunk have said, they said it in our interview, and then they said it a couple other places too, that they were like, it's so much like Star in My Mind.
Yeah.
And in that, the trope with Joong's character and the girl is that they used to date, but now they really are just besties.
They're besties,
and she's, like, trying to help him have his gay awakening.
Well, and she is in a domestic abuse relationship,
right.
and like he's helping her. Yeah.
So I was like, no, I genuinely think like she's just his friend, and she's like helping him, and she knows he's in love with So and all this stuff.
Right.
But I did not see that it was like that they never dated. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Also, the stalker thing was like
wild.
Like once he was in her house, because at first like she was just like creeped out that he was putting like notes on her car, but I was like, girl, that's not that bad. Like, at least he's not stealing your trash and making a collage in his room.
Well, he also took those photos and scratched out people's faces, which is aggressive. That's when
it started getting like creepy. Yeah. But like at first I was like, yeah, he's not secret crush on you and you. Like, it's fine.
Except in Secret Crush on You, he was like happy about it / like concerned.
No, he definitely wasn't freaked out that he was about to get axe murdered. No. Because if I walked into somebody's house and they had made a collage on their wall with my garbage, I definitely would be concerned that they were about to murder me. But like, yeah. Anyways,
it went very.
Once he showed up in her house, I was like,
yeah, it went very K-drama, where it went real. This was real dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
Yeah, but then they end up saving her together, which is sweet.
I know.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Zoe and Joke team up to save Nita.
That was cute. I did appreciate that. They took him down.
I really liked the way that they did, the way that Zoe realized he didn't actually like Nita anymore, because like he legitimately liked her.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he was like reading her the Greek story.
Yes, that was cool. That was a cool moment.
That he was like, I don't understand why it didn't feel magical. And even like, I thought it was cool to watch because the way that they did it, like, you're watching him not understand why it's not feeling right. Yeah. You're watching him be like, this moment should have been magical, and why wasn't it magical? And like, he's like, I don't understand.
I felt the feelings when I was with Joke. Why am I not feeling them with Nita?
And then it happens so fast where like he's looking Joke in the face, like in the library, and he you hear his heart go. Yeah. And you're like literally watching him realize like, oh my God, I think I like Joke. Yeah. And then he runs away to the mountains to be alone with his gay awakening. And then he can't be alone with his gay awakening because Joke shows up. Yes. And then Joke is like, and then they kiss in the mountains, and Joke is like, yes. Yeah. And Zoe is like, never mind.
I know.
That's probably my favorite part.
Poor
like, it's
Joke.
So cute. It's actually so cute that Zoe is like, never mind. What if we just don't talk about it? Let's just not talk about it. It didn't happen. It's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking about this when I was like watching the edits. I did appreciate the fact that Joke didn't play that game where he was like, I will like you until you like me. He never told Zoe that. He was like letting Zoe have his gay awakening, and he was basically like, I'll be your friend through this, but like when you want to make out, cool, let's do this. But like he never puts his feelings, because then like the other revelation that we get with like Louis's character now being involved, of like Louis was helping set up basically Joke and Zoe, and he then is like, you've manufactured this whole situation, and he's like, no, I just like encouraged, I basically put you guys in the same place. I didn't, the feelings were real, everything was real, but like
I can't make you feel some way about someone.
Yeah. And Zoe just had a moment where he was like, I think in that moment he got overwhelmed with the idea that Joke had liked him longer than he realized. And so that it was hard for him to wrap his mind around. So I guess it's a double-edged sword, either being told early on when you don't have feelings for someone that like this person likes you, or not being told this person likes you and that person just intentionally spending time with you clearly in means to an end to like date you.
But
I don't know which one.
I don't know which one.
Which one would you prefer?
I don't think either is better or worse than the other, to be honest with you, because like
I feel like one puts more pressure, like knowing somebody has feelings and you don't. Like I feel like it would feel more forced, maybe.
It would feel more forced. It would feel like anytime you interacted with them, there was some sort of expectation. So I feel like it's almost better to keep it quiet. And it's funny because like we ask boys this in interviews. We're like, this has come up a couple times in interviews. Like it came up with Joong and Dunk. It came up with Pepper and Kong. Of like, do you tell someone you like them, or do you like? Are you a secret admirer?
Yeah.
I feel like looking at it from the other person's side, the like-e, the person who is liked.
Okay.
Like from the perspective of the person who is liked, I don't think I would want to know. Because then, like, I feel like you'd get in your head of, like, do I only like this person because they like me? Is it because I'm, like, enamored with the fact that this person likes me?
Right.
And, like, so are some of those feelings maybe not legit? Or not legit, but, like, are some of them maybe elevated in a way they wouldn't be if I hadn't known this person liked me?
Right.
So I feel like if I was the one that was, like, liked, I don't think I would want to know. I don't think I'd want to know. But also, it's like, no, you want to know, obviously.
Yeah, because then at the end, when there is a revelation that, like, I guess it would be a revelation of the person has liked you the whole time, where it's like, oh, you were just doing all those nice things because you wanted something.
I don't know if it's because you wanted some. I think that's maybe that depends on the kind of person you are. I feel like that's a really cynical outlook in life.
Yeah.
And it's more so that, like, of course, if you like someone, you're going to do nice things for them. It's just, like, it's a way to show affection. It's a way to show, like, also, in general, like, do you think anytime anybody does something nice for you, they just, like, want something from you? You know what I mean? So,
there is a population of people, especially, I feel like, girls in relation to guys. There's so many guys that I know, especially, like, in high school and, like, college, where they're like, this girl's talking to me. She obviously is in love with me. And you're like, bro, no. People can be friendly.
But I feel like it also is a way, again, like, I don't know. I think it depends on the kind of person you are. I think it's a very cynical outlook to be like, oh, you only did this because you wanted something from me. Like, I wanted you.
Yeah. Like, you want a relationship with that person. So this, I guess, now that we've brought up Louis, the friends in this series were so funny. The contrast of, like, Pat and Caught, Louis and AJ was so funny.
I'm glad you said AJ, because I was, like, really trying hard to remember if it was AJ or JJ.
It's AJ. Because JJ's in what show right now? Dangerous Romance.
Yes. Here's the thing. I can tell the difference between AJ and JJ now, but I don't know which name goes with which one. Like, I can tell they're two, like, I can see the differences, but I don't know which name goes with which one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with AJ JJ now.
I mean, that scene where Zoe is confronting Pat on the stairs, and he doesn't push him down the stairs because Pat just gets nervous, and he, like, stumbles, but it is a funny moment of, like, it looks like he pushed him down the stairs because he's upset. It's pretty funny.
I like how soft Zoe actually is. Like, he definitely is, like, a house cat that thinks he's a tiger.
It's true.
I really like how hard he thinks he is, but how soft he actually is.
It's true.
Before we move away from Joke and Zoe,
yes,
I feel like we must address the spice.
I mean,
oh my god, like, who knew they had that in them? Like, I kind of knew because I was a big Joong stan from Humans 2, and, like, not that he had a particularly, like, spicy role in Humans 2, but, like, he had the most, like,
he kissed that boy like he meant it.
Not the most spice. Actually, Pavel had the most spice, but, like, he had a, like, he did good. You know he could kiss. You know Joong could kiss.
Yes.
But, like, oh my god.
Well, I think especially because thinking back to Star in My Mind, there's a lot of forced kisses, right? Like they're kind of in conflict for most of the kisses. When he like kisses in the bathroom, he's like forcing himself on Dunk, and there's another. I think does he kiss him in the parking garage and he like kind of forces it? Like there's more. There's not as loving kisses because I think then we only get the last kiss on the bridge.
Also because I guess normally, or not normally, but like in the Star in My Mind universe, it's usually Joong doing the like initiating the kissing, and so like what was interesting and like cool about this like role reversal is like
Dunk.
Every time it's Dunk, and I think it's cool that Joke like lets Zoe take the lead every time. Where he's like, I'm not gonna rush you, I'm not gonna put pressure on you. I did think that was like really cool. And I mean, Dunk with the hand here. Listen, I will say one of my favorite things. I know, and y'all know I don't with the
both couples knew exactly what to do with their hands.
Listen, we've talked about the hands for years. If you go back to season 1 of this podcast, we're talking about the dead hand.
Yeah.
So like, we have a whole thing about the hands. I will say one of the best things about this is difficult for me. Don't like talking about this kind of thing.
Dunk choking Joong.
No, it's not like a choke, but like when
he's
he
like
touches
holling
his
him.
jaw, when he holds the jaw, like when Dunk like
that is an interesting move.
And, like he holds his jaw, like he's almost like turning up, like
yeah, he holds them like
Joke's chin
with his thumb on his chin.
Yeah, he puts his thumb on his chin and like the rest of his hand like
on his face,
like on his face. And like number one, you realize how large Dunk's hands are when he does that. And
also, the idea he's manhandling
it's very,
Joong,
like, forceful, right? Yeah. Like it's forceful. I don't know. I was like, oh my god, I need some time alone. I need to think. I need to go to the Pukao. I need to go to the mountains to have some time to think.
The amount of times that people talked and broke down that kiss scene.
I know.
They like brightened it. They zoomed in. They did all like, I mean, they killed it. Even the behind the scenes, like. And part of this, I wonder, with Joong is because he grew up in Europe a lot. And, you know, they're a very kissy culture.
Right.
A good amount of them. I don't know how it is in Turkey. But, like, I think of, like, Italy or France, like, the UK. Like, a lot of people do a lot of kissing. And in the behind the scenes, Joong is always kissing Dunk.
Yeah, Joong's a kisser.
And they're very, like, skinshipy. And it's really cute. And I think that lends itself to, like, that type of like really great chemistry on scene. And I will say this is the through line for this director, because this director does direct some really good spice.
Ooh, you know what? This director does also like a pickup. Like he likes a lift.
He does.
Like, and that was another thing I saw everyone talking about. And even when I saw that, I was like,
fantastic.
Like, I was like shaking. Is that like, and you brought this up that like, who was it that said, was it Om Pawat, I think? That said, like, yeah, if you're doing this kind of scene with a girl where you have to, like, pick her up, just as a man, you're more cognizant of, like, you don't want to hurt this, like, little girl. Because, like, all these girls are tiny.
Ohm was talking about how he was more comfortable in NC scenes with men than he was with women. Because, you don't want to inappropriately touch them or, like, you don't want to, like, be too aggressive. But,
But, like, boys roughhouse all the time. So it's, like, and all of these boys are, like, friends.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're not as concerned as with like throwing them around.
Yeah, and Joong had picked up his partner in The Warp Effect, and people were comparing those, like how he picked up the girl in The Warp Effect, and it looked like he had some struggle, but he like picked up this giant man in Dunk, like he was light as a feather.
But I mean, it was because Joong is a gentleman and was like being careful.
Yeah,
and like, but it made the scene like super intense, where he's just like.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, and then with, like, the sit on the bed and the move and the, like, whoever choreographed that.
It was beautiful. No notes. I mean, from the balcony.
Yeah.
To the bed.
Yeah.
Everything.
10 out of 10, no notes. Okay, another thing I liked was that we think Grandma's homophobic, but Grandma is not homophobic.
No, she was just like, Joke, you got to step up your game.
Kunya is just like, I wanted to make sure you really cared about him. That's why she's putting Zoe through like all the struggles. not
that was
homophobic.
cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to the families now. I will say I didn't know that this would get me this much, but I like cried at the very last episode, mainly because of Joong, because we know Joong's relationship with his dad. We know what happened. He's had that interview where he talks about how he really wishes like his father could see him now, and he would hope that his dad would be proud. And so when I'm like getting emotional thinking about it now, when Joke and his dad have that conversation at the table.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets up to leave and his dad is like, "Can I hug you?" And I was like, "Are you for real right now?" I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was just like such a sweet moment of like life imitating art a little bit. Like I think Joong did such a great job in that scene because he was able to put like real emotion into it from like his real life of like, I wish I could be saying this to like my actual dad.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I mean, I think
that was very sweet.
I think Joong is an excellent actor. I also think Dunk. I think they are both very good actors. I think that Joong. I think they bring out the best in each other. I really do. I think that like their acting styles sort of elevate all of the high points of the other ones because like they're not exactly alike in their acting styles, and so like all of their anything where one is like not lacking but like lower on the scale with the other one has that but heightened, and so they just like it's very clear like when each of them shine, how they shine, and they like play really really well. Like each one of them have a specific style that elevates the other one without detracting from themselves, because the other one they elevate each other.
And I thought Dunk in the scenes not with Joong in this series, I was like, wow, Dunk has really grown in the last year. Because, like, the scenes he did with his mom, I thought were really great. The scenes he did with Pun were really great. Yeah. Like, that whole scene on the merry-go-round where they're having that confrontation.
Oh, my God. That whole situation. Okay, I'm going to cry thinking about that. Because
that was intense. This
poor sweet boy. And, like...
I love that title has been typecast as this like really really bad dude.
It was funny when we were watching that episode because you were like, "Oh, did they get like a 2-for-1 freebie for this amusement park?" Because of course, Be My Favorite also filmed there.
Yeah.
And we're like joking about the amusement park, and then it turns out to be this like heavy thing.
I know. I did love that moment between Joke and Zoe where Zoe is like. Where Joke is like, "I'm sorry, I brought up bad memories," and Zoe is like, "Well, we created new sweet memories."
You wrote new memories.
This show really did have a lot of heart. It was very, very sweet.
Another moment I really liked between Joke and Zoe. I honestly, before we started recording this series Sunday, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be enthusiastic about this because I liked the show, but it wasn't like. I think because OnlyFriends is happening, and of course it just takes up so much brain space, that I like forgot just how much I liked this show and these characters.
Yeah.
So like another moment that I really loved is when they're driving home and the bike gets a flat tire. I think it was a flat tire.
I think so too.
And like
that scene was like, really funny.
I'm gonna take off my shirt,
obviously,
because I don't want to get grease on it.
Obviously.
And
I watched that scene last night too. It's funny.
Of course you did. And he's like, okay, and he ends up getting grease on him, and then not for some reason, obviously, like, listen, my guy Zoe saw his opportunity.
Where'd he get that bar of soap?
He went and bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
when he was fixing the okay.
And bought it.
I just now remembered. I was like, where?
Yeah.
And that, of course, that hose just happened to be there.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So, like, I understand you, my guy. I feel you on a deep personal level. So, but, like, when Zoe is like, listen, you can't put your shirt back on, obviously. Like, first of all, that fucking sense. Like, that hit when he was like, you can't just put your shirt back I was like, yeah. And then, but like the fact that they took it a step further, and he's like, I have this bar of soap in this water bottle, and he's like, you have to do it for me. Again, both of them, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And Joke is like,
you have to do it for me.
Where is it?
Where is it? I don't know where it is. Like,
rubbing literally everywhere except where they are. Like, oh God, it's so funny.
Oh my God. And then he's like, okay, listen, now that I'm not going to spoil anything, but like now that this past week's episode of I Feel You Linger in the Air has come out, there's the through line with the director.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's amazing.
Anyways, that was peak. That was yeah. I enjoyed that scene because it was just so good.
Bringing it back to Poon again, I did appreciate that they.
Oh, Poon.
Poon.
I was like, Poon's in the show.
Poon.
I was like, where was Poon?
When they run into each other at that coffee shop, and he's like, "You blocked me on IG and Line. Can I get your number now?"
No.
And he's like, I mean, dude is like, I missed my chance, but like, what about now?
Listen, don't want all my time to be about you.
And Joke is like, no, bro. He's mine. I know.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Yeah. Yeah, and I liked it in that moment too. Like Zoe got to work through his like emotions of like, I liked this dude and he didn't like me and he was like kind of mean about it, and like now I'm just insecure about trying to like try this again, and he got to like release that onto and the nice part about it is he got to release it onto the person who deserved it.
Yeah. And then he got to rub his body. Because that scene happens like right after
that.
Yeah,
it happens after. Yeah.
Oh, bringing it back around. Side note, if you were confused about who the secret actor character was, apparently it's a Vietnamese actor
who plays the stalker.
Who plays Poom/James, which I think it's always funny when like Dunk, especially because he's a fluent English speaker, says names, but like, because nobody pronounces the S in Thai. Like, a Thai person would call him James. Mm-hmm. And so he very clearly is like, James. It's very fun. Like, he'll say those words in clear English because he says selfie.
Right, he does say selfie.
Selfie, which is very funny.
Yeah, because, like, a lot of times, like, the Thai accent, because if you're writing it out in Thai, now that I'm learning how to write Thai, I'm, like, learning why all of this is, like, an actual grammatical rule.
Right.
Would say, like, selfie.
Yeah.
So, right? Like, you don't have that, like, it was, like, selfie.
Yeah.
Selfie, right? And, like, selfie, right? But he very clearly goes, selfie.
I know.
Like...
They now that I think about it, they like did a lot of activities in this because they go to the arcade, they go to the amusement park, they go camping.
Because he's dating him. He's like taking him on dates.
I like that scene. I rewatched some of this last night, and I love that scene where Zoe puts on the shirt from the arcade, and Joke is like, how dare you take it off? And he's like, no. And Joke takes off his shirt, and Zoe's like, put your shirt back on. What are you doing? That whole scene is very funny. Here's the thing. What I would love to see Joong do next is like a more personable, like warm, bubbly character. Because he did get a little warmer in this show, but I feel like he plays like kind of a cold, straight-faced character more so.
I mean, that is Joong's character, not the straight face, but like the warm, bubbly, cute, fun. In 2 Moons 2. Mm-hmm. Like he is that character. Like he's played that character before. That's his origin story.
And I like that. I like that character for him. But I guess in relation to like the Joong Dunk characters that they typically get, you have Dunk's.
Dunk is so cute.
He is so cute. He is adorable. Okay, let's talk.
Again, he's like a house cat that thinks he's a tiger. So even when he's like, I'm mad, like.
I know. It's very fun. Let's talk Jang and Pak. I thought their storyline was very sweet.
The way they did that was very, very sweet. The conversation they have, I guess it's like right after the mountain frolic when they're back home and they're like in the bedroom on the bed.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
Yeah, and they individually play great friends and cousin, I guess, to Zoe and Joke. I like their involvement in the main storyline. Like they're not this like weirdly disconnected side couple, because that's sometimes how it feels. Like there's just like the side couple that you're like, why?
They get thrown in for like the spice. Usually is what they're used for.
Looking at you, be mine superstar. But yeah, I liked the fact that the funny part was that Joke and Zoe become the like relationship experts to Pak and
or they're like they become their like guides.
Yeah, where they're like, be cool, bro. And I thought it was an interesting way, because I was curious as to how they were going to resolve this situation where Jang is like not quite comfortable enough to like come out publicly, and And I thought that Pac played it really well, where he's like, he's not putting it on him to be like, you have to come out or we're breaking up. He was basically like, I can't do this anymore, and I really want to be public. And he didn't put it, I didn't think he put it on Joong. I thought he took responsibility for himself, and he was like, this is how I'm feeling, and like, I know you're not there and you're not ready, but like that has to mean that like we can't do this anymore. And Joong was like, no, I cannot lose you. Mm-hmm. And so when Joong goes to walk out and Pac hugs, or when Pac goes to walk out and Joong like grabs him and hugs him, and he's like, I can't do my life without you. I thought that was really sweet.
I think that's always a very interesting conversation of like, so who's in that situation? Because this is in a couple of shows, and it's something that happens just in real life.
It was the whole season of Heartstopper.
Right.
Yeah.
Is like, whose comfort level takes priority in that moment? Is it the one who's out or wants to be out, or is it the one that's not comfortable and doesn't feel secure enough and is like scared still? Because there is still a very real reason to be scared to come out. And so like, who should take priority, right? Like, who's the one
who has to make the sacrifice,
right? Who should be making the sacrifice, right? Like, which one of those struggles is the harder struggle, I guess? Or like, I
think it's
because neither are wrong.
No, I think it's a both and, because I think this is true of a lot of different relationships, right? You can have that like deal breaker where you get into I've heard about this multiple times, where you get into a relationship knowing the other person doesn't quite match you on certain topics, right? Like, for example, like having kids or getting married or any of those like hot topic kind of like, you need to be aligned with your partner on this thing for longevity. Mm-hmm. And so you make a sacrifice. The person who is out that is making that sacrifice going in, but then I guess at some point the other person has to make the sacrifice literally coming out, pun intended, right? So it's like, at some point you made a sacrifice going into that relationship, being like, I'll be patient, I'll let you do your thing, we'll figure this out. But at some point you can no longer make the sacrifice, I think, for longevity, because like, if you have one person who is willing to be out and willing to like live their life publicly and the other person isn't, like, I think you're just not aligned on that life topic that like can be a make or break at a certain point.
Right.
But I don't think one takes priority over the other. I think it's timing.
Because, yeah, like, there's always, not always, but like a lot of times there's a conversation around like, he should have kept waiting for him, or it's not fair for him to make him wait. Because like, that's kind of the slant in Heartstopper, is that it's, even though Nick, because he is literally perfect, doesn't put it this way, but like, there's this implication that Nick not being ready to come out and making Charlie wait is like hurtful to Charlie in some way, right? And like, we see it really play out with like the Hickey scene when they're in Paris, right? And all of that. Yeah. And so it's like, the implication there is that the one making the other boy wait, or the other person wait, is being more hurtful than the person that has to wait. But like, in the same breath, there's this movement, as well there should be, that like everyone gets to come out when they're ready, and like nobody gets to tell you like this, nobody should ever get to tell you or put on you that like you coming out is a condition of something. Yes. So it's like, is this very, it's
complex.
Yeah, and it's just very, I always think it's like interesting when a show tries to bring that in and make it like a part of the plot.
You know what they also did in relation to this storyline is when Joong does come out and you see that he is now kind of scared because nothing has actually happened with the football club. He's just like, I quit because like, they all know I'm gay, and I don't know if that's going to be okay. And you see how guilty Pac feels. And the same thing with Nick Nelson and Charlie, where Charlie's like, I want this to be the best coming out experience that anyone else has ever had. And then like if it's not, he's like, that's kind of why his like eating disorder becomes worse, and like the anxiety that he feels responsibility to the other person's coming out. So like it is kind of an interesting dynamic of like the person who's already out also does feel some tie to that other person. Obviously,
because that other person has now made the sacrifice for them in a way where like they may not necessarily, at least the way we see it in the shows, is that they weren't ready to come out, but they're doing it in like as a sacrifice for their partner. Yeah. And so like, of course they should feel some responsibility for that, because that person is like, you have told this person, here's the condition of our relationship, and they're like, I value our relationship enough that I will accept this condition. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's such a real world storyline.
Yeah, like it's very real, right? Like it's just, that's why it's always interesting when they bring those kinds of things into the series, where sometimes we have very like fantastical aspects of them, like running away to the mountains to have a mountain frolic, like in these aesthetic shots and whatever, right? Or like
a stalker who like now we have to band together
in your house, right? Like, or like you're going on a debate TV show together, right? Like all of these like fantastical elements, and then you have something that's just like rings so true and is such like a real complex issue.
They another side couple-ish storyline that we get a hot minute, which is Pod and Guy's dynamic, was such a funny thing to throw in, because you find out why Wave is so anti-Joke, because Joke and Guy are friends, and he's like, Zoe, you shouldn't be hanging out with Joke because he knows Guy, and Guy is a gay who
and
like
here's our
said he liked me. And so that was funny. I did appreciate that we got resolution of Pod going to the bar and being like, maybe gay, okay?
If I added sound, if like we ever added like sound effects to like the podcast, this is when I would like play that clip that's all burned in our heads of like Gulf yelling like, he's gay.
Oh gosh.
Maybe we should get like a soundboard, and that's definitely one of the sounds.
Oh god, that would be funny. I've been gay. But yeah, that was a funny little side storyline that they threw in there. Yeah. Poor Pod getting pigeonholed as the like internalized homophobic boy every time.
Yeah.
He's like,
shout out to Tanhan Chanlati. Although he wasn't actually homophobic, his dad was in Tanhan Chanlati.
Yeah, but he also had some struggles at the beginning where he has to kiss.
No, he just like said he was just accepting his fate because his dad was so homophobic that he was like, you have to carry on our family line. Yeah. And it wasn't until the women came in the room and they were like, are you stupid? Gays can have kids too. Like they literally was like, are you dumb? Like,
okay. Would you watch the show again?
Yeah, I think I would, because with all the like hidden agendas, so much happened that like there's no way I caught it all my first time.
Yeah, I agree. I really did like the show. I would definitely go watch more edits of the show.
It's so cute.
It is so cute. Yeah. Okay, what show do you want for Joong and Dunk in 2024? What genre?
Oh, right, because GMTV 2024 is like coming up
next month.
I don't know. I think that it's hard to say. I think that they should still be playing kids. I think they should be playing university students still. I think that they're still in that, like, I think it will still work for them. I know as much as we want to get out of university, I think there are ways to be that age and have those kinds of, like, storylines without, like, the whole thing being set in university. We've seen it happen, right? Like, Big Dragon is an example of this, right? Where, like, they're in university, but like it's not set in university, right? Like,
right.
Not that I'm saying I want Joong and Dunk to do Big Dragon. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I've heard a couple people be like, I would love to see Joong and Dunk in like an OnlyFriends situation, but that is not me. Could not be me. Not me. I don't want that mess for my sweet angel babies. Joong and Dunk I just consider to be my angel babies.
They are pretty wholesome.
Maybe like I don't know. I think whatever they do, they're going to kill. Honestly, like, any storyline they get, I'm excited to see. The only one I don't think I would want to see is, like, a gang baby mafia thing for them. I just don't see them in those roles.
Yeah, I want this next one to be Dunk pursuing Joong.
Yeah.
That would be fun to watch. I know, I'm trying to think of what, like, example of a show that I would want.
I'm trying to think of, like, show examples that I'd love to see them in.
I think an athlete show would be fun. Like, almost like a You're My Sky. Because they're so, like, big and, like, athletic that it would be fun to see them in, like...
Something, like, mystical would be fun. Like, where you have, like a La Pluie, where you're, like, in this universe.
Yeah.
Or like a vice versa situation, right? Where there's, like, some sort of, like, universe mysticism situation happening.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
I think Joong Dunk could do anything.
I agree.
They're really... Dunk has really killed it. Joong is solid as ever.
Yeah.
And they just have the chemistry.
They really do.
They're very sweet. Ugh.
And I mean, give them more spicy scenes. Listen, y'all know I am not one to say this, but, like, I was just so incredibly impressed. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody's made an edit of all the times Zoe grabs Joke's face. I bet that exists on YouTube. I will find it.
Actually, I bet it's on Twitter. That seems like a Twitter, like, clip.
Maybe
You should make it.
I don't have that kind of time.
That's true.
I'll make it in my own brain.
Okay, we have merch. Go buy our merch.
You can also still sign up to be on the wait list for a Thailand trip.
So exciting.
Also, if you're in the Houston, Texas area or Texas, or plan to be in the... or it's convenient for you to get to Texas. Anyways, keep your eyes peeled because something might be happening.
Exciting stuff.
Dun, dun, dun.
This has been Let's Talk BL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all things Let's Talk BL at Let's Talk BL.